I am in 6 months going to upload this video, whether I make progress, whether I don't, whether I continue to make bullshit excuses. I will upload this and some progress videos, if there are progress videos, on September 27th. Hey everybody, it's JP. If you haven't been here in the last little bit, I changed the name of the channel. I actually got an intro. I plan on actually taking this pretty seriously from here on out. Whether or not I'm gonna be tenacious enough to ever make a career out of it, I don't think I'm interesting enough to actually become like a big YouTube star or whatever, but I definitely think that I got what it takes to get people to watch my stuff consistently, so I guess we'll see. Today is Saturday, March 27th. Hopefully you can see that. And today I'm going to actually talk about a problem that I've had for years. Now, when I say problem, it's a decision that I've made repeatedly for years, and it's got me to where I am. I am incredibly overweight. Now, I planned on actually starting this project a few months back. I think I shot a video similar to this one right before I took the green screen down. Turns out my wife didn't like having a giant green sheet hanging on the wall in the living room, but I want to say that was November, and I was 277 pounds. I'll put that on the screen right now. You are actually watching this way in the future. Today is Sunday, November 15th, 2020.
The full original November clip will be at the end of the video.
I am in 6 months going to upload this video, and every couple of weeks I'm going to record some progress in the middle. The point is to try to inspire people like me who need to change, but you keep lying to yourself. Now, I do understand that there are actually people out there who have some pretty serious medical conditions, or they're taking medications, or whatever the deal is, they actually can't lose weight when they try to. I'm not trying to say that I have all the answers, particularly if you have a case like that, but I am trying to say if you're someone like me, and the reason that you're obese is because you continuously justify stupid decisions when it comes to your food, and come on, I mean, everybody makes dumb decisions. It's just everybody makes dumb decisions about different things, and unfortunately, making dumb decisions about food for years on end has consequences.
Damn, look at them titties!
So what we're gonna do is right now, and I'll do like a double camera thing here, I am going to record my weight right now. Ah, 271.4 is what I'm getting on the scale. So I don't actually have a number goal in mind, because every time I do that, I fail. I'm not going to go on to a crash diet or, you know, something like keto or whatever, because I've done that a few times, and honestly, I'm not trying to be nasty, but I can't stay out of the fucking bathroom. Today's date is Saturday, March 27th. Whether I make progress, whether I don't, whether I continue to make bullshit excuses, I will upload this and some progress videos, if there are progress videos, on September 27th. 6 months from today, I am challenging myself to make a change. I'm not putting numbers on it, nothing like that. It's just a goal I have.
There we go. If you're not where you want to be, I don't believe that you have downtime. Some might think that that's an unhealthy way to look at it, but, you know, I'm just putting this out there because it would have helped me to kind of come to this realization a long time ago, particularly with like weight and music. I'm just trying to be helpful, because lately I've been on a tear. I've lost a lot of weight recently. I've been doing a lot recently, and diet has improved drastically over the last few months. This hasn't just been an overnight thing. Like, finally everything's pointed in the right direction, and I had to fight like hell to get here, but I'm here. So I kind of just want to share some of that with you. You can't just sit and wait thinking that one day you're going to feel motivated. One day I'll go get it. One day I'll have enough. Now, I do know that there's the day that you do snap and you realize that you need more out of yourself. The day that you snap and realize that you're not going to accept that you're too tired to go on a walk. You're not going to accept that. That does kind of take a certain level of snap that you may or may not have direct control over, but you could definitely get the ball rolling in the right direction to get you there faster. You definitely should enjoy things. You should take time for yourself. Take a nap if you want to. Do whatever you want with your time. It's your life. At the end of the day, as long as you're happy with how you're spending your time overall, then, you know, no one can say shit to you, as long as you're not hurting anybody. It's not just gonna come to you. You're not just gonna wake up one day and it's just gonna be easy to get out of bed early so that you can go do squats or whatever the deal is. Or after you've been standing at your job for 8 hours, maybe you don't feel like going and playing basketball. And I understand that. At some point, you have to ask what you're going to accept from yourself. On the outside, it might seem to someone like, oh, one day I'll wake up and I'll just be able to make all these changes and it's going to be easy, but that's not what it is. You got to cultivate it. You got to find that shit and you have to multiply that every opportunity you have. Oh my God. Update. It's June 14th and there's finally, you're probably not going to be able to see them, but there's actually people at the court. So I just played a few games for the first time in a couple of years. Fuck. But we're gonna keep rolling, we're gonna keep grinding, we're gonna keep fighting. All right, so today is June 29th. I'm right at the 30 pounds lost mark, so I've started kind of ramping it up. I've been going the last few weeks and playing a lot of basketball because they just put the hoops back up. But you see today, I still got the moves. Still got about 45 pounds to go. I started running today. We're actually less than 3 months away. We're right at the halfway point of this whole project right now, so I think I'm in a pretty good place, but I'm not fucking stopping. I am married, but we are parting. And very easily a person could sit back and bitch and moan about it and, oh, I'm stressed out, I'm going through a lot, so, you know what I'm saying? No, I am only bringing this up to you to prove that if you put your mind to stuff like this, now, granted, it's not always mind over matter. I've mentioned before, there are medications, there's medical conditions, blah, 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 but for the vast majority of us that were in my position, we did it because we chose to. This is a situation that can strengthen you. If you realize that me, with not the best willpower in the world, not the best impulse control, and not the best financial planner in the world. So I'm just showing this to prove there's struggle going on here despite being able to make changes, because there have been some people that say, oh, that must be nice, so you must be lucky, must not be under a lot of stress. I'm washing my laundry in the motherfucking tub, so you can shut up. When life came crashing down in front of me, I was able to keep this going, and I'm not going to slow down. I've made a lot of progress up to this point. So anyway, just kind of wanted to take a detour just to remind you that it's mind over matter. Don't make excuses. Get up there and get it. Today is August 18th. I am just a little bit over a month from wrapping up this project and actually about to go to the gym for the first time. I've been doing cardio and I've been doing little workouts at home. I've got some resistance bands, I've got some dumbbells, I've got like 50 pounds in weights. I do all kinds of stuff at home, but there's only so far you can get at home with equipment from Walmart when you don't really know fully what you're doing with it other than the obvious. So today is a big day because this is the last time until the project is wrapped up that I'm going to take my weight. I'm not gonna do it again until the end of the video that you're watching right now, and I'm not going to do it until I'm filming that. The reaction that you see is gonna be real. I just did my my final weigh-in before my project is over with next month. I went to the gym for the first time today, and I've lost 40 pounds total since I set a certain goal, and 46 pounds since my heaviest weigh-in. That's the last I'm going to know until the end of the project. And this thing used to be pretty tight when I got it, and now it's it fits pretty well. Doesn't get too tight in the back or anything, so see y'all soon. Alright, today is August 24th. I just went to the park out here at Lake Reba. Been out here for probably hour and a half straight running and walking and stuff, and that's after an 8-hour day on my feet and 4 hours of driving. So, you know, more often than not, a lot of this stuff is mental, and it's going to be whatever it is that you accept from yourself. You could say you're too tired to do it, or you can get out there and do it. Rain outside is no excuse. How fucking bad do you want it? If I'm in a position to learn what your insecurities are and kind of help you tackle those, or learn when you're going through your down period so I can try to help pull you out of that, I have actively made it a point. On top of the exercise, guys, I've lost a fuckload of weight in the last 6 months. I mean, like, I've been killing it. And ever since I got my Apple Watch, it comes with Fitness Plus, and I've been burning those up too. I've been going running. You could put your whole fucking fist down there. That guy weighs 277 pounds. That guy weighs 271 pounds. That was March 27th. A man's gotta learn how to learn, because if a man can't learn nothing. So a man's gotta learn. Between like a job situation and some things that were going on in my personal life, I wound up unable to really sleep the way I needed to, so I kind of had to slow down a little bit from, you know, I couldn't go as hard as I wanted, but I still made some decent progress. Today is so weird. It's such a beautiful day, right? But it's raining. But it's like only raining over the park. Like literally that fucker right there. It's it's literally the size and the shape of the park. Today is Saturday, September 18th. It is 10:34 p.m. and I'm actually shooting the last little segment tonight, so I have the next week to finish all the editing and cutting. So I'll just say that this has been a crazy 6 months, and I'm glad to be back. I started to write a long script on this topic. I don't really want to be boring. You know what I mean? I don't want to be just another one of those videos that's like, here's what I did, you can do it too. Because there's a lot of nuance to it. So I'm just going to give 5 pieces of advice that I think would benefit you based on, you know, what has been sustainable for me. So quick disclaimer, this is obviously very limited scope. I kind of went into this with just the goal of wanting to lose weight and changed a lot of other stuff along the way. I'm no expert. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. I'm obviously not a personal trainer. So you won't be able to really perfectly replicate what I do. Even I, like the one who did this for the last 6 months, if I went and tried to do the exact same thing again, I wouldn't be able to replicate it. So I just don't want it to come off like I feel like I have all the answers, because I just know what worked for me. I don't know what's going to work for you. People have medical conditions, people take medications. There are all kinds of reasons why other people can't just get up and lose weight the same way that another person can. So I'm more trying to reach out, obviously, to the people that don't have the medical conditions, but you're just lazy. Just be honest with yourself. That's why I got where I was, because I was depressed and I was lazy. And admitting that is the first step. So let's get into these 5 pieces of advice. Also, remember, if I say anything that sounds harsh, I'm writing this from the perspective of talking about who I was when I was damn near 300 pounds and what made me get to that point. So if anything sounds harsh, don't take it as judgment. I'm literally ripping myself. But if it feels like the shoe fits, I hope that you'll do something with that feeling. All right, so my first piece of advice is to do what you can right then.
Don't worry about how far you were able to run on Tuesday now that it's Thursday or whatever. Well, I just don't know if I'll be able to do what I did on Monday, or get in this headspace where if you don't feel like you can do an entire workout from start to finish, or like run a whole mile or whatever, then why even try? That's a very dangerous mentality. You don't just want to only do it when you can fully commit. Even just walking to the end of your street and back a few times is better than not doing anything. Today, do the best you can do today. Yesterday doesn't matter anymore. Be in that moment and give it all you can give in that moment. And don't be too hard on yourself. Just do the best you can do, and you can rest on that. So number 2, meal prep. This is huge. I said I was going to try to avoid some of the more cliche common advice, but you'll hear meal prep a lot, and for good reason. This is one of the best things that you can do for yourself if you're trying to change your dietary habits. Yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass that day to be cooking enough of whatever. You're cooking like 4 to 5 servings of it so that you can put them in containers and keep them in the fridge. Yeah, it's a mess. You're gonna dirty up a lot of dishes. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but think about it like this. That one time that you have to do that extra work is gonna benefit you for the next few days, and you don't have to cook and do those dishes every day. It's just nothing but a win for you. And then literally all you have to do is just reach in your fridge and grab a container of presumably healthy food, and you don't have to worry about, oh, I don't feel like cooking, I'm gonna go to McDonald's or whatever, because that's what I did. I kept convincing myself I was too tired, despite the fact that I still had the energy to put hundreds of hours into video games. I was too tired to cook. And if you're afraid of cooking, I don't want to be insensitive. I don't know if your family was attacked by a family of giant mutant stoves when you were young or something, but honestly, cooking only requires that you heat a certain food item until it is a particular temperature that's safe for human consumption. I'm not saying that to be condescending or to be a jerk, but honestly, you need to take control of your diet, and being able to cook food for yourself is a big part of that. Number 3, you are what you consume. Now, we've all heard you are what you eat. We've all heard you are the company you keep. Both of these things are incredibly true. But we just talked about food, so we're gonna kind of skip over that. I just kind of wanted to change the thought process from you are what you eat to you are what you consume. Because whoever is around you, you're gonna pick up on that energy too. And you, honestly, I'm not trying to be mean, like at the same time, we all know those people that just can't. They just can't. They just can't ask people. They can't accomplish anything. It's usually someone else's fault. Whatever the deal is, we all know that person. You can't be a can't person, and you can't be around can't people. I don't mean you have to abandon your friends that are going through downtimes or whatever, but people who have the lifestyle of constantly underachieving and being okay with that, if you're trying to make massive changes, I'm sorry, but that's not who you need in your corner. I'm just saying you need to be really mindful of who's around you. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, okay? I've got friends that have made great accomplishments, and I've got friends in my corner that have been there for me. And I kind of actually want to shout them out real quick. Angie, Tyler, Kaylee, Alex, Andrew, my family, Nick, Uncle Mike, and I feel like a jerk. There's probably somebody I forgot, and I'm so sorry if there is.
All right, so I did forget a couple of names, a lot of names. I'd like to thank the following people as well: Alicia, Becca, Jackson, Felicity, Will, Patrick, Sophie, Monica, Michaela, Scotty, Emily, Ben, Shauna, Dara, Kimmy, Nina, Carrie, Dean, Sean, Paul, Dante, Kayla, and Tyler. And I've already said family, but specifically mom, dad, Lana, grandma, my aunts, my distant cousins, my close cousins that are like my brothers, all of you guys, and also Angelica, all of y'all. One way or another, whether it was directly or indirectly, you guys have all helped me, and I didn't forget, even though I kind of forgot.
Felicity was the first person who reached out when something was wrong months ago. Sarah, Asia, you reach out to me to make sure that I'm cool, and that to me is just the coolest thing. So you are what you consume. Make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right people and the right places. Beware of crabs in a bucket. I will be very brief on this, but what crabs in a bucket means is if you put a bunch of crabs in a bucket and one of the crabs starts to get out above the other crabs, all of the other crabs will unify to pull that guy back down under them. That's how some people are when you start making progress. You're going to hear a lot of bullshit advice from people that don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I'm sorry, but losing nearly 50 pounds in 6 months and doing it in a healthy way, I don't need you to tell me that what I'm doing is bad for me. And also, don't wait on your friends. Your friends who say they want to exercise, they say they're going to go hiking, they say they're going to go to the gym. A lot of people say that stuff to make themselves feel better, but don't wait, because they're probably not going to go with you. Number 4, this one's really dark. I shot this video the other night when I was feeling very, very, very down. So number 4 is be ready for the growing pains that are going to come with change and having to evaluate all the habits and why you do what you do. Having to abandon everything that made you comfortable in the past is going to leave you feeling very, very lonely.
Don't sit around waiting until you feel good. It's like lonely feeling. It literally feels like I'm surrounded by people that are like vaguely familiar, but I'm invisible and nobody can hear me. It's exactly how I feel. I've been lonely before, but this is a whole other beast. Everything you pick up feels like it's 10 times heavier than it is, and you just don't want to move. I deal with that pretty much all the fucking time.
Number 5 piece of advice I would have, build a vision. Create like a mental image of who you want to be. What I mean by that is, for me particularly, it was a little bit easier because when I was younger, I was in very good shape, incredibly good shape. So having already known what I look like when I am thinner and what I can pull off, it was easy for me to kind of visualize that. So I would get on Amazon and look up dress shirts that I liked or whatever and put them in my cart. I didn't always buy them, but it was like, hey, I know that once I get to a certain point, like I'm not gonna have a beard anymore. I don't spike my hair up, I just move it over. I got a labret piercing, labre, however the fuck you say that. I've heard it said twice, both by professionals. The point being, I knew exactly what I wanted to look like and I knew where I wanted to be. And kind of having an image of yourself that you want to actually be, for me, it kind of helps me to stay motivated. Because for me, it's like, okay, I know exactly how I want to look. And I know what I need to do to get to that point. In my opinion, it's really important to visualize it in your mind. What you want to look like, what do you want to dress like? Are you gonna wear your hair differently? You know, like I had a beard before because I was kind of a dumbass that thought it might conceal the extra chins I had, and boy was I wrong. By the way, that's a bonus piece of advice, and I'm not trying to be mean, but black clothes and stuff, you think they make you look slimmer in your photos and little tricks that you do, those don't work. And I'm not saying that to cut anybody down, I'm just saying that so you'll be aware.
So I'm sitting here, I'm actually editing this specific video that you're watching. There was something that I forgot to bring up earlier when I was telling you what to expect. Expect to be really fucking cold when you lose like a significant chunk of weight. I think it was around the 30-pound mark when I started to notice I was really cold all the time. So get ready for that.
So now we're gonna answer by far the most popular question that anyone has asked me since I've kind of made it public that I've made progress and want to help people get there. So that's actually kind of a big answer because there was a lot that changed in these 6 months that would have made a lot of people probably fall off the wagon. For example, there's no ring on this finger now. And work has slowed down considerably because of implications from COVID-19. I'm not bringing that up to garner any kind of sympathy or anything. I'm just bringing it up to let people know there seems to be this misconception that you can really only start to make progress if you have your shit together. Guys, I don't have my shit together at all. I'm having to live completely alone for the first time in a long time, and the first time really since I've had my kid, where I was like totally independent in my own place, not somebody's roommate or anything like that, and being able to handle everything myself. Not to mention the slowdown at work, where the only consistent hours I can get require literally 3 to 4 hours of driving every day. So again, like I really hope I don't come off like I'm attempting to garner any sympathy, because that's not the case. People look at people who have made some progress
progress. And I shot a similar video and put it on Facebook today. A lot of times when someone's like, hey, you can do this, look what, I did this, so can you, that can be annoying to some. And I understand that. Because a lot of times the thought is, well, dude, I'm just not as happy as you. You're not as stressed out as I am, or whatever. Like, you don't understand my situation, so no, I can't do whatever. Guys, there is nothing special about me at all. Okay, I am a strikingly average guy all the way across the board. Okay, I mean, there are talents that I have that I think are pretty cool, but I'm not specifically athletic. I'm not hot. I'm not, a fucking genius. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything going for me that is not average. And go ahead and throw a tallywhacker joke in there if you want to, but I'm dead serious. Everything about me is average. I am just a normal guy. I don't have any special abilities that anyone else doesn't, except I can play various instruments. That has nothing to do with losing weight. So that being said, the only thing really stopping you, if you're an able-bodied, lazy person like I was, the only person stopping you is you. So now that we got the tangent over with, the most beneficial thing for me was to do intermittent fasting on days that I would go do cardio. My specific intermittent fasting protocol was that I would eat all of my calories sometime after I did my cardio that day, but I would stop eating at 9 p.m. the night before. So it would generally be between 6 and 9. I would have to find a way to get my macros and my calories and protein levels and everything right. It's easier said than done at first, but you will develop a routine and know exactly the little things that you can eat that won't overwhelm you after a day of fasting and don't make you feel bloated and make you feel nauseous. I will say the first few days of intermittent fasting suck. There's no two ways about it. Your body's going to have to adjust. One thing I would do to alleviate that, if you are interested in trying intermittent fasting, is to get some carbonated water, but make sure you're getting the stuff that's actually just some kind of flavoring, not necessarily aspartame, but like bubbly is a good example. Those things are legitimate 0 calories and they don't have any artificial sweeteners or anything. They won't break your fast. So you'll be hydrated, which if you intermittent fast also drink a lot more water because a lot of your hydration came from the food you were eating. You need to replace that water. Make sure you drink more water if you're going to fast. But what I was saying is the carbonation in that water, I don't know what the science is behind it. I guess it's because you're putting bubbles in your stomach or whatever, but carbonated water really helps when you get those like hunger pangs in the bottom of your stomach and it's like, oh, I really need to eat something. Sip on a bubbly or whatever brand you like. Just make sure that you're not actually getting like a diet soda masquerading as sparkling water, because it's easy to do that. I've done it before. So from what I'm seeing, the most common form of intermittent fasting that people do is to only eat dinner and eat within that window, because when you're looking at a chart of all the benefits of fasting, the fasting will generally start at your last bite. 9 p.m. if that's your last bite, you started fasting then. By 3 p.m. you're on an 18-hour fast. Now again, like I said, I'm no medical expert. If you have any sort of like diabetes or anything like that, you make sure you talk to your doctor first. But that's what worked for me, was that I just wouldn't eat breakfast and lunch, and then I would go do cardio before I ate dinner for probably about an hour. I would run and play a lot of basketball or go run, or sometimes even doing like the Apple Fitness Plus workout things on my TV. Don't push yourself too hard fasted or you'll start feeling dizzy. But you can do some light cardio fasted and it will, and if I'm understanding correctly, it's similar to a ketogenic effect where your body is targeting your fat because you haven't put any other thing in it for it to target. I could be wrong on that, but I have the results to prove that it did work for me. Now on my days off or whatever, I would still eat just like I normally would. I'll still eat just like I normally would. I'll have breakfast, I'll have lunch, I'll have dinner, because I don't want, if you eat a very small amount of calories for too long, you could reset what is called your basal metabolic rate, and that is just how many calories you can consume before you start storing fat from excess calories. So you don't want to do this every single day unless you know more than me and you actually know things. I wouldn't suggest it personally, and the people the resources I pulled from before I started doing it, they don't suggest it either. But it could work for you. I don't know. Another thing I did was I stopped drinking a bunch of bullshit. I don't really ever drink soda unless I'm out and I go to maybe like Qdoba or sometimes at the checkout line at Walmart or something, a Diet Coke will look good. Yeah, I do drink diet soda when I drink it. It's just like literally once a month now. It was every day. Same with Monster energy drinks. 0 calorie or not, you need to see the way that that stuff affects you personally. If it's something that you can still consume and be able to have it in moderation and control, then you're probably fine. But moderation doesn't make you almost 300 pounds. That was my problem. I would suggest at least planning to cut your drink calories or any of those unnecessary things. At least try to take 25% of them out at first and then cut out half of them. Whatever works for you. I did it, crash into a wall of cold turkey and felt like shit for a few days. But that's just kind of how it is when you start getting rid of all those artificial sweeteners and all that stuff that's in those Monster drinks and whatever. Don't have it for a few days, then you don't feel like you need it anymore. Replace all of that with water all day long. You don't have to drink nothing but water, but I'm saying you want that to be your primary beverage. And cut out fast food for the most part. That's another thing. I'm not suggesting that you necessarily tell yourself, I can't do this anymore. Because when you start feeling like you're losing out on something, that's when it really starts to suck mentally. At least for me, that's how it works. So I would rather just tell myself, yeah, you could have that, but what about your progress? Don't tell yourself you can't. Ask yourself why you want to until you don't want to. That's how it worked for me. I'm not interested in stopping at Taco Bell or McDonald's anymore. Even if I'm very hungry, mentally I know that at the very least I can go to a gas station and get a carbonated water or something. So eventually, once you start to cut these things out, you realize you didn't really need them. Why? But you can't ever eat what you want. I'm like, I can. I just had to change what I wanted because what I thought I wanted was gonna probably give me a fucking heart attack at 37 years old. Let's be real about it. Find healthier foods that you actually like. A lot of people think you have to stop doing everything and just go buy a bunch of organic carrots, organic celery, organic ranch dressing, all of this, nothing but the healthiest. Don't do that. You will overwhelm yourself and you might fail. Moderation is key when you're making these changes, guys. My friend Alex has had to remind me of that repeatedly, that sometimes I get in this mindset where I try to do too much at once. Don't do that to yourself with a dietary or lifestyle change. That is the number one, in my opinion, number one way to fail, is to expect too much and to just drop yourself in without any preparation and really just kind of aiming at the dark. You don't really even know what you're doing. Another thing, and this one might sound really, really corny, listen to motivational speakers. One of the ones that I like is Kobe Bryant, when he talks about, I got nothing in common with lazy people who blame others for their lack of success. And that's kind of a philosophy that I have. So listening to motivational people that they don't sit around and make excuses. They get up and get it done. People like Dwayne Johnson, he's a good speaker. The Rock is a good speaker. And even people that aren't like superhuman or whatever, you can listen to whoever. Just listen to motivational things that inspire you to want to grow and to want to do better. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I understand that for some of you, this is going to be the corniest thing you've ever heard, but I have a board that I have above my couch. I see every day, winners don't make excuses. I will never stop. And yeah, I know the video's mirrored, which ruined that part, but I recorded it in an app that is supposed to be able to record a video in portrait mode, and then it didn't work, and I really didn't feel like fucking with the footage anymore. I was pretty pissed. So
I mean, if this is the kind of stuff you have to do to make sure that you are reminded of your task and what you're trying to do it. You want to buy a poster with your favorite athlete on it so you can look at that and feel inspired? I don't have this hung up anywhere, obviously, but look, I mean, like, Patrick Ewing was always a big inspiration to me when I was a kid. This dude used to play through sprained ankles and stuff, so that kind of also goes with the point I made earlier about you are what you consume. You also want to get away from negativity on social media or on YouTube or whatever you watch too. Again, I'm not saying that you have to just create this big, happy positivity echo chamber. Farmville is overrated. But I am saying you definitely want to be taking in things that inspire you to be better. Again, you are what you consume. So to get more specific, the exercises that I would usually do on the days that I am intermittent fasting, I like to go run and I like to go play basketball. Again, you don't want to go too hard. When you start to feel like you might be dizzy or it might be time to eat, listen to your body. It took me about a month to get to where I could actually go run for an hour on an empty stomach without feeling weak. Your body will have to adjust. It's okay for your body to have to adjust. Don't beat yourself up. That is not a sign of weakness. That is a sign of growth. You're doing the right thing. When I go to the gym, I'm usually just doing stuff that, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I'm pretty heavy. Push-ups suck for me, and they really hurt my wrist, where I'm also playing instruments and drumming all the time. This thing, and I'm single. Our guy here want to kind of reduce the wear and tear on certain things, so I only go to the gym to do chest and back, really. Typically, I'll do stuff here at home. Body weight stuff, circuits off of Apple Fitness Plus, which, in case you don't know what Apple Fitness Plus is, it's really just a YouTube for workout routines. We've got some resistance bands that have this thing that you close in your door, so it holds it, and you can do rows, or you can stand backwards and kind of take your resistance bands, and there's a lot that you can do in the comfort of your own home, even if it's just basic stuff. It is better than nothing. It's getting up every day when you don't feel like it. Get up and do a couple push-ups, sit-ups, whatever it is. Sometimes I'll do squats before I go to work if my legs are feeling stiff. So just stay the course. What you're looking at may look like a giant mountain. Wow, I don't know how I can't even see the top. I don't know how I'm gonna get there. You just spent those precious seconds standing there and doubting that you could do it. I've already lifted my shirt up once at the beginning of the video. I'm obviously not where I wanna be, so I am still a bigger dude, but I'm nowhere near where I was, so let's kind of get a profile on that. So this is where I am now. I didn't buy these thinking they would fit. They're undershirts. I like them to be smaller. So this is actually a size large when I wear an XL. But anyway, this kind of gives you like kind of a representation of where I was versus where I am. I don't really have much definition going on here. I've kind of got a little bit of a line right here. It's sort of solid, but it's not much. Still got the belly, even though it was like out to here, so this is progress. And I'm a dude, what the f?
Six months from today, I am challenging myself to make a change. I'm not putting numbers on it, nothing like that. It's just a goal I have.
All right, y'all. So I just finished up the editing. One last thing. I'm gonna take the double video the way I did the first time. I'm wearing the exact same clothes. I do have a shirt underneath this, but it's bigger, so it's not up here like it was. It's kind of looser. I was wearing boxers and socks. That was it, and that's what I'm wearing. So, just like I did the first time, here's your proof. You can see it. Here goes. Wish it would have been a little more, but when I started going to the gym more and I realized I couldn't do as much and I didn't recover as quickly when I was fasting, so I have started to eat more. So that's probably why I didn't actually hit 50, but we'll still take it. Thank you for watching.
Hey everybody, this is JP. You're watching this way in the future. In fact, today is Sunday, November 15th, 2020. You are actually watching this way in the future. Today is Sunday, November 15th, 2020. I've had a couple different ideas for a video that I wanted to make that was on this topic, which we'll get into in a minute. I don't even know what the title's gonna be, so it might have already been spoiled for you. But look, everything I came up with, even though the jokes would have been at my expense, it seemed a little bit too mean-spirited, so I decided to just kind of make this straightforward video diary, if you will. Every time I get, make some decent, maybe kind of breakthroughs and thinking of ways to do things a little bit differently, I'll work on that. And I will post a video hoping that maybe something I do might inspire you, because I get inspiration from regular, everyday people. I've got a buddy, Randall. I've got a couple friends or acquaintances. One of them, his name is Randall. This dude used to be massively overweight, and now he is a PE teacher. And I've got another friend, her name is Alex,
she wasn't obese, but she's lost a lot of weight and she's managed to keep it off. So I get inspired looking at my friends and just regular everyday people like me. I don't know anything about fitness or nutrition. I know that you should exercise and you should eat less calories than you... I know that you should exercise and you should burn more calories than you consume. On a base level, that's it. So I'm going to be learning on this journey just like anybody else. So for sake of transparency, my weight has ballooned a lot this year. A lot of it having to do with, and I know this sounds like a scapegoat, but one of my favorite exercises is to go play basketball. And not just shoot, but to actually go run and play basketball. And because of the coof, as it were, they have taken all the rims off of the backboards at the local basketball courts where I like to go and play. So not only have I obviously not been the most active person the last few years, they took away the one thing that I really enjoyed doing that, you know, it had kind of like some cardio, a little bit of strength training, everything involved all in one that doesn't have to do with my wife. Sorry if there's any family watching, but you know the drill. So as I said, for sake of being transparent, I'll show you again. Today's date is Sunday, November 15th, and my weight is 274 pounds. This gut is rather large. I'm getting to the point where, all jokes aside, in total seriousness, I'm having joint pain, I'm having anxiety, I don't even want to go anywhere and have people see the way that I look now, because I used to be really skinny and in shape back in the day. I mean, it's been a while now, graduated 12 years ago, but when I met most of the people I know now, that was what I looked like. So, you know, anyway, it's just been kind of difficult to even think about going out and hanging out with people, as pathetic as that sounds. So you get the anxiety, you get the depression that comes along with not only not liking who you have become and what you look like, but beating yourself down for like bad decisions. You know you didn't need that extra sandwich, or you know that you didn't need another Red Bull or wherever you're getting your calories from, but you did it anyway. Why? Why did you do that? Those are the kind of questions I want to answer. Or why do I have to have such big meals to feel full? Or whatever the case may be. So this isn't just a journey about losing weight. This is a journey about doing some research and studying into some of the bad decisions that I make. Why am I drawn to making these bad decisions when I know that they're bad decisions, and whatever else? I'm not trying to come off preachy. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just trying to, as I mentioned earlier, we can all get inspired by celebrities or whatever who go through massive changes, like Ethan Suplee. That's a pretty big one. That's pretty cool, but he doesn't work a regular job. You know, he probably has the money for a personal trainer and for someone to cook healthy food for him and this and that. Not saying they don't have to put in the work. That's amazing. Happy for people that can make a transformation. But between me and you, regular people, we work regular jobs. We're just everyday people. What can we do? So my hope is to kind of dissect why I am, how I am, and little by little make some changes, and hopefully put out videos that might change your perspective and kind of help you to get going in the right direction. Now again, with this being in November 2020, maybe you never see this video because I never get my shit together. Maybe I'm never on track. Maybe 6 months later I'm 300 pounds. You never know, but hopefully there will be a pretty good chunk of video following this one by the time you see it. I know you haven't seen it yet, but wish me luck, and I wish you luck.